Good morning, YouTube family. Glad to see you guys hopping on. Very, very happy Thursday today. The weather is amazing where I am. It's just, when the weather is nice, it just puts you in such a great mood. I hope it's good where you are too. And even if it's not, cozy up with some warm beverage and hang out and enjoy that type of weather too. I do like those kinds of the bad weather, I guess, where you get to cozy up with a book and watch a show or, with a loved one. It's so good. Hey, Obi, good to see you hopping on. Good to see you. Always glad to hear from you. Glad you're still kicking, out there. Hope things are going well. So, hey, today, our topic is why is the new supply still with the narcissist? And at first, I was thinking, to do a bunch of other topics. But for some reason, this is the topic that I feel like a lot of people are still hurting from, really. Because, yeah, right? Yeah, Obi. For now, it's so weird. I don't know why that happens. But it is what it is. Okay. Let me see. Oh, you know what? I do know for sure that I am being shadow banned, which really sucks. I'm trying to look to see what's going on here. Oh, okay. It's saying that I'm not plugged in or something. Okay, maybe that'll do it. I think that was it. My computer is not plugged in. Let's see how this goes. Sorry, folks. I just gotta do a few maintenance things here. See what's going on. Okay, here we are. Yes. So, yeah, today is, why is the new supply still with the narcissist? And I think a lot of people get hung up on this and it just damages them further, right? It hurts so bad, first of all, that you're separated from the narcissist, from this future that you thought you were going to have. Your whole world's crashing down, and then you see them moving on. You see this new supply taking your place, essentially. There have been some situations where, the ex is completely not ready to move on. And in fact, they thought they were in a perfect, wonderful relationship. I was thinking about one in particular where one of the narcissists I knew, a couple of years back now, was telling me how he dumped his wife, like just out of the blue, just told her, pack up and go. And that was it. And for no apparent reason. Now, of course, he wasn't telling me the truth about what really happened. My guess is that he probably got bored with her. And even though things were great between them, supposedly, right? Because he also idealized her after she was gone. And as he moved from person to person to person, he realized that there's nobody as good as she was. So he was idealizing her, but then he also looked back to see, to recount how, I don't know if he was feigning guilt or some amount of regret. I think he regrets not having her, but I don't know that he recognized how badly he treated her. I don't know that he regretted that part. But he talked about how when she left, she was, a shambles. She was in complete tears. She couldn't believe this was happening. She didn't understand, and it really was just out of the blue. He just decided, like, we're done. I don't want this anymore. And that was that. Now, when that happens, and then you see your narcissist ex moving on to the next person, you're just amazed. You're like, what the heck? How everything was fine with us, and then they just moved on just because they felt like it, right? And I think that when you look back and if you see them latch on to one particular new supply and they stay with that new supply longer than they may even marry the new supply, right? Because oftentimes the narcissist will move on to marriage again right away. This one didn't right away, but he kind of did. Moved on to person after person after person immediately. And then when he found, I guess, Primo Supply, he moved very quickly with that one because this one gave him status, this one gave him somewhat security, this one gave him actually improved his image. So he latched onto that one quickly, and she came with other benefits as well. I'm not going to go into that, but yeah, so within months they were married after meeting. I mean, I think he was ready to marry her within a week after meeting her, but she probably stalled it a little bit. So now you're watching over there, you're looking, and you really shouldn't, because you want to see it fall apart. And it might not fall apart in front of your eyes, right? You might want to, you just want some affirmation, excuse me, that it wasn't you. You weren't the problem, and that this narcissist is the problem. If the crazyist is the problem, then they would not be able to sustain another relation you supply. But, right, somehow they're hanging on with the new supply. And then wondering, how is this possible? How is the narcissist not getting tired of supply? Well, you're not going to see the narcissist on the new supply. Well, most likely you're not going to see it unless you run to them at a bar, you see them move with other people. The new supply isn't there. See them hitting on other people. But most likely you're not going to run into the narcissist at the moment they're cheating on the new supply. You're not going to see them trying to contact all of their other supply to fill needs, right? They might contact you, and that should be indicator enough for you, right? You may have gotten a contact from the narcissist, and you're playing in your head like, oh, it was just a moment of weakness for them. But it wasn't just one weakness for them. You just happened to be the one person at that moment that they were looking for somebody else to join with, right? You don't respect. Guess what? They're calling the next person, and the next person. And this is what the new supply is unaware of. They're not going to be aware that their now spouse narcissist is looking back to old supply, trying to ignite connections there, and for the purpose of fulfilling their needs that they're not getting from their new supply. So, but why then is the new supply still hanging on? The new supply has a choice, right? The new supply can decide to cut this all off and move on, get away from this. So why is it the new supply is still hanging on? Jihad, good to see you. Hold on, you guys, I gotta tighten this, I think. There, maybe that. Okay. So, oh yeah. Oh, Jihad. Let me see how back. Okay. My ex-narc has been leaving me alone, so that's good. Maybe because she's busy with her little baby and second pregnancy. Yeah. Bobby says, my narc wanted me the first week she spoke with me. Yeah, she makes me wonder if her second pregnancy is with the same new supply. Exactly. And a lot of times, you just can't tell. Yep. Act like you don't care what she does. You're only used her to see how your kids are doing. Wow. Wow. Yeah, having children narcissist is really tough. You go, a lot of blessings and prayers to you guys if that's your situation. I'm a little bit Hold on, let me get some water. A little dehydrated this morning. So why is the new supply still with the narcissist? Well, there are several reasons. One of them might be that the new supply is ashamed to admit defeat, right? The new supply narcissist is cheating on them. And they're trying to hold it together. They're trying to their image, their fantasy, their little bubble world together because they made this narcissist out to be the love of their life. They had a big old, they blasted it out to the world, how happy they are. This is the man or woman of their dreams. And now they're ashamed to admit to the world that it's over, right? It's done. And they're afraid of what people think of them. New supply hangs on, trying to convince themselves it's going to get better, trying to convince themselves that they can fix this. This will end. They'll stop cheating. They'll start telling the truth. I hold their feet to the fire. If I keep, holding them accountable, they're going to come around. I think the person that I met initially is the real person that they're behaving like now is just temporary. That's what the new supply is trying to convince themselves of. So they're not even being truthful to themselves about the situation. Meanwhile, their closest friends or even their family might have caught them, right? Might have seen their narcissistic spouse out flirting with people. And they come back and they tell the new supply all about this. And the new supply is going to deny it, going, maybe you didn't see what you thought you saw. It was just your perspective. They don't admit that things are falling apart. They won't tell other things that are going on behind closed doors. They're not going to talk about that. So that's one of the reasons. Another reason is they be afraid to be alone. Part of that could be also they're attached to the narcissist in a different way, like through a pregnancy, right? And they don't want to go through that alone. They're going to connect and attach to the narcissist and stay as long as they possibly can, because especially if they're the woman and they're carrying the baby of the narcissist. Woman is the narcissist. The guy might want to stick around. He's worried about the baby. He wants to know, is this really? And second of all, how is the narcissist going to treat the baby? Because he might actually care. So they may stick around for that connection. Another reason that the new supply would still be with the narcissist is because they might feel like they're going to lose too much. They're going to lose the good image the narcissist gave them. They're going to lose the financial comfort, maybe the income that was part of their relationship, right? Now they have to go back to a single income, which is going to be harder. The luxuries they're used to, right? Maybe a nicer apartment, maybe a house, maybe vacations. They're going to miss that second income, or maybe primary income if the narcissist is the one that makes pretty much all of them. The new supply is not going to want to leave because they're comfortable. They want to stay with the narcissist and allow the narcissist to go on and do other. We have seen this with I don't know if I shall bring it up. Several relationships that we've seen in the news where, how is it possible? It could be some politicians, it could be sports stars. Everybody knows this star is all over the place, right? Cheating, and they're keeping that. We all know that they eat it, right? And you're like, why is their spouse still standing by? Why is their spouse not? And at first you want to think, well, the spouse is just a very loyal and committed person. They don't believe divorce. And that's possible, right? But most likely used to the lifestyle, used to the benefits of being with this narcissist. And a lot of times if they're sharing child with a narcissist, they just want the comfort for the child, stable as they can for the child. And they'll put up with this. They'll allow the narcissist to behave this way because they can't control it. So they accept it. That's another reason why the new supply just stays, is still with the narcissist. Another reason is they're afraid of change, right? They just prefer to stay with someone or something, a situation that's familiar to them. So if they know what their habits are, they know what the narcissist is like, they know how to tread lightly at times, know how to back off from the narcissist, they know how to control sort of the situation to the point where they can live with it, right? They've acclimated to it. They're now used to it and not to have to get used to somebody else. They don't want to have to be alone. They don't want to have to start over. They don't want to have to do something different. They just want things to be the same. And there's a saying, better with the devil you know than you don't know. This is life. Now, this is just a perspective, way of living that I think is a really crappy way of living. So don't adopt that thought, that kind of thinking. It's not better the devil you know than the devil you don't know. It's better to pave your own way. Better to go and seek true happiness and be fearless and live freely. It is better to be like that than to fear the unknown. And so a lot of times people will stay with the narcissist because they're afraid of the unknown, which I think, is such a debilitating way of living. You get yourself doing that to break out of that habit. Like even staying in a job that you hate, and you're like, but I'm afraid of trying something else. Everything out there is the same. No, everything out there is not the same. Try something else. Be fearless. Live, you will regret changes than keeping things the same and then to the end of your life recognizing that you were unhappy all that time. But New Supply is willing to stay. And another reason is you'd like to go, well, still that doesn't make sense. Why would they stay? Well, it is because they're too broken, right? They're just too broken to leave. Esteem is so low, so they hang on just in case the narcissist would be on for that. You don't know if they're going to find anybody. So, and especially anybody else who would like them or want them the way the narcissist did at the beginning. There's nobody else out there that would possibly want them as much. So they'll stay with the narcissist. And also they don't know how to start over. Especially people who are really narcissist for their income, right? For don't have as good of a job or have a job at all. And they're at home raising the kids. In today's society, staying at home raising the kids. Be afraid that if he, then how is he going to support his kids? Is he going to be able to have custody or even share custody with the kids if he can't afford a place for them, right? So he'll stay with the narcissist, or same thing for her. She might stay with the narcissist for the exact same reasons. They're just too broken to believe that they can do well on their own financially apart from the narcissist. And that might be very true, okay? It might be very true that live the same higher style and live a lifestyle that provided for them. I know of a situation where a friend of mine escaped her very, very abusive narcissist spouse. He had to do one of those flight of the night type of thing, or while he was at war, actually. She had prepared with had a suitcase at a friend's house, had um, cash in hand that she hid at her friend's house. And when it got really bad, and she was planning when would a good time to escape, and she had to do it quickly. She had to do it easily. She had to do it where get away as fast as possible and as far as possible. And when that happened, she took off. Now, he provided a really luxurious life. He had a lot of money. They lived in a beautiful man-like home. They had, these extremely expensive cars. They had a lot of money. He was very willing though, down to the like wanted her to do, how he wanted her to groom herself, how what he prefers is the way it was going to be. It didn't matter what she liked. So extremely controlling, but also verbally abused. She got to the point where she had no self-esteem left, or almost no self-esteem. And this was a person pretty highly educated, had a really great career, and but still not pulling in as much pulling in, of course. And it didn't matter. It didn't matter to her. It got to the point where it was so abusive that she had to escape. And she didn't have anybody to escape to. She had a friend, probably a couple of friends. She had some. She was not living close to her parents, so it wasn't very convenient for her to go back and live with her parents. But she was willing to escape the horrible situation she was in, not knowing all what was in the future, and not having really hardly to her name. She had to rely. It takes a lot of humility, you guys, to leave a relationship, much less leave a narcissist relationship, right? Relationship with a narcissist. She had to completely start over. Well, after working on herself quite a bit, and after finding God, I gotta put that in there. She was an atheist most of her life, and to church because her parents had her go to church, but she didn't. It was just kind of an interesting, not interesting, really comfortable lifestyle. Live as a, she wasn't a Christian. She was something else. Anyway, it was comfortable and unity, and they had status, and they had acceptance that comes with being part of a religious group. But then it never was part of her. She never believed it. And once she left a narcissist, she actually stumbled upon a church and started going. And it wasn't anything like she thought it would be, right? She had this image of what it would be like to go into a church. She didn't want to go into another controlling situation where people dictate how you should live, what you should do, what you should look like. She kind of expected that of religion. Turned out to be the opposite. She discovered that people were accepting her, like where she was. And but she raised, this is the humility part. Recognized she was a mess, and she wanted to fix that. These people came alongside her. They have the guidance, the moral guidance. That's the thing I really like about where I am, is that when you find the right church, when you find the right group of people who are not judgmental, they just accept you where you are, but they care enough about you, learn from God that you are worth saving. You are walking through darkest parts with. And they did. They walked through these parts with her. And then she met her husband through there, her current husband through there. Now they live in not a huge house. They live actually in a shared home with another couple. And they don't even have the whole place. The whole place isn't even a very large home. But it's so much better for her than it would have been to stay with the narcissist. And I think a lot of new supply are afraid. They're afraid they won't like it, right? They won't like downsizing. They won't like having less. But they can't see free looks like. Now, my friend, freedom to go and be everything she wants to do and be. She's here, she's exploring her hobbies. She gets to work on her creative side. She is so much happier. But this is something that a lot of new supply don't really for themselves when they're at bottom level, hit they've hit rock bottom and they have to escape. They're not imagining that. So another reason why they don't leave narcissist, right? You're looking over there like, how is this possible? You see the narcissist cheating on them. You see that the narcissist is grading towards them. You know, even though they're posting all kinds of pictures of them hanging out with the narcissist, you see that, hey, the new supply can be happy, right? So why is they still staying with them? And another reason is because they're addicted to the narcissist, right? We all have been there. We've been at that point where we've been addicted to the narcissist. I'm sorry, those of us who've been in a relationship, a romantic one with narcissists. Now, there are some who have been raised by a narcissist, so you've never raised the romantic part. So you're not addicted to the parent, but you, in a way, you are. You rely on that parent to affirm you. You want that image of parent-child relationship so badly that you'll stick around. You'll go through all of the junk with them because you want this relationship that you see other people have with their parents. But new supply is addicted to the narcissist because no one had, I want to say, entrapped them, right? No one had love bombed them at this point. No one has brought so much attention and lifted them so high. No one has been so amazing, right, in the bedroom. Oh, by the way, I don't know, this video is obviously not for kids, right? One of the things that occurred to me for you men out there who are listening, women do not want a beta in the bedroom. They want an alpha. And I just kind of wonder about that. These relationships where you have friends who have these narcissistic relationships with their narcissistic men, but they enjoy the bedroom part, but then everything else is just a shambles. Then I have friends who have relationships with people who are not narcissists. They're pretty modern guys, and things are not great in the bedroom. Say like beta men don't have a sex, kind of the same way with men. They want a certain response. They don't want someone just laying there doing nothing, right? They want someone interactive and who's more free with themselves. And if you're all burdened with self-esteem, you're not going to be as free in the bedroom. So a little bit of tip there for you guys, men and women out there, I guess. This is really good. This is how do I say this? This is one really big benefits of knowing yourself, that you get to be more free, get to be who you really are, get to experience passion at its highest. And when you're able to do that, you don't need the narcissist anymore. It's coming from you. You bring it out of your partner. You bring the passion out of your partner because you are secure in who you are. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you guys. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just reading some of the comments here, agreeing with this. Yeah. Yep. Nowadays, you can get support either way, some people who the wife was the bigger earner, for some reason, the husband did not go child support from her. Um, let me see. Yeah. So, back, why is the new supply still with the narcissist? Well, things are really great in the bedroom when there's something happening there, right? So it doesn't want to let go of that. They're very addicted to the moments, the times when the narcissist is all in. So they don't want to lose that. Yeah. Hey, BB Scott. Yeah. Yep. That's true. Yeah. So the new supply, they're addicted to the attention. They do get the attention, right? They're to the passion. They're addicted to someone who's lively, even though it's a bad at times, right? They prefer someone who's just mellow and hardly, and I can understand why. You guys out there who are listening, if you are the kind who's engaged, you're not really ever in the moment with people. I would very highly advise you to work on that, work on yourself so that you can be people. And the more present you are with, the more alive you're going to feel. Not only are you going to bring this incredible energy to your interaction with the other person, because you're actually listening to their words, you're able to empathize and sympathize, and you're able to engage with them, be quick-witted with them because you're paying attention. They're going to be so attracted to that, but also you need to be rewarded because their actions are going to be so much when you're able to be in the moment with people. Don't get so distracted with your phone. Like, turn your phone off, leave your phone in the car, right? When you go out on a date, when you go out into a restaurant, do not get that. Now, it's so annoying. You're able to be in the moment. The person you're with is phone constantly beeping, making its tones, texting somebody's, these things are happening, and glancing over at their phone. I would recommend you set some rules, like, hey, when we go, we're leaving our phones in the car. Tell if you've got a babysitter at home, babysitter, the phone number of the restaurant you're to, and the number of the theater. They do not have to call you through your phone. We're so addicted to phones, and they're distracted from being in the moment for people. Anyway, so it only benefits you and yourself to be able to have confidence in yourself so that you're passionate in the even, right? Passionate about what you say and what you're, is this energy that you're to exude wherever you go. That I love being like that. I love having that part of my identity, myself. When I walk into a room, there are off days where I just want to be left. I'm an introvert. Definitely, I have that. But when to hang out with my friends or out, you know what? I comes at all talking to people because whatever I'm passionate about, I'm going to share with people. Like, I could be out and there's something that's on the shelf that's love. I will share, like, oh, this is the best thing ever. This, you know, I want to share joy. I want to share experiences. I want to share my life. And you're too meek and mild and tamed and too broke. You're not going to share life with. I just find so few people out there that actually engage with you. And I kind of find that people are surprised when I engage with them. I mean, they're surprised though. They want to talk too. Nobody ever catches their attention. Nobody asks them how they're doing and listens to what they're doing and questions, right? The more you work on, the better you build up yourself. you're going to be able to fix the things in your life that are ruining you. If you're going to be able to leave a situation or walk away from a situation that the new supply can't walk away, because the new supply is being depleted slowly, possibly, and most likely pretty quickly and pretty regularly. So it gets to a point where the new supply is too broken to even walk out the door because they're unsure of them, and they're unsure that they're going to be able to bring life into their life, I guess, right? Their into their mission, into their future. They rely so much on the narcissist, everything for the excitement in their, for the financiality in their life, for even the socializing in their life. Narcissist has all these and is always bringing people in, always active, always has on, and the new supply kind of comes along for the ride, enjoys that life, enjoys the excitement and the activity. They feel like if they break away from the narcissist, they're going to end up alone. And even for introverts, that could be very scary. So that's another reason why new supply is still narcissist. Well, having ideas why the new supply, maybe I haven't listed them all, but what are your ideas about why the new is still with the narcissist? Just reading your comments here. Yeah, yeah, I agree, BB Scott, exactly. It is a spiritual. Those who are unaware there's a spiritual battle going on all the time, live your whole life unaware of that. Think that you're fighting flesh against flesh. There's a scripture that's not about a flesh against, but in the, oh, how does it say? Essentially the spiritual realm, right? And so I can't think of the word how it's said exactly, but the battle going on. And it could be is doing the bidding, right? It is messed up like a narcissist is messed up, and you want to definitely avoid that, right? You want to avoid arguing with a fool. You don't want to argue with a narcissist. You can pull yourself out of that. You can extricate yourself and not be put to some kind of foolish, ridiculous argument with a narcissist. You're like, nope, I'm not going to, because I can see the bigger picture. I can see beyond the two people fighting, face to face, arguing back and forth. I hate that. I guess people are social media. Okay, you might learn a few things, I guess, as people argue, but it's pointless, really, in an argument with a person on any social media in the comments section of articles, right? State your case, and that's the way I do it. I state, and if somebody wants to call me names and whatever, well, why the heck? It's a troll. I don't know. They're a paid troll, but they're a troll, and I kind of think just a troll, but you're not a paid troll. They're a really stupid troll. At least the paid trolls are getting something out of it, right? That's just my thought on that. Yeah, just looking here, you guys. So, a lot of times people are hung up on this question: why is the new supply still this? Because for another reason, they actually want the narcissist back. I think that, if the new supply are not with the narcissist would be free for you to get back with them. And sobering thought, though, that you to take with you. Oh, have this in your pocket, like put right card if you have to, in your purse, put it in your, keep it with you at all times. I told people over and over, make a list. Even if it's just because the card's going to have to be kind of if you're putting in a wallet. Three is why the narcissist is for you. Okay. You're a cheater. Write down, cheated with my sister, whatever it was, cheated with, um, and, um, lied or that, stole money, um, physically hit somebody that you love, write these things down. Physically abusive, was verbally, blah, blah. You keep, and when you're, and about your ex-narcissist, and you're missing narcissist, you pull out that card. A sobering, loving hand slap to the face. Okay? A good friend will slap you in the face to wake you up from this ridiculous thing that things are going to be better with the narcissist the second, or third, or fourth time. And sometimes your friend is not going to be to do that for you. So you got it yourself. When it's late at night and a song comes on and you're like, oh my gosh, that was our song. You start to long narcissist. You start to, again, what things were like when they were good, right? And you, all the bad. Well, this is what the new supply is doing, and stay with the narcissist. And this might be tormenting yourself with when you're imagining that things good with the narcissist, and you're imagining that you actually even would want this back. You have yourself out of it, and if it's with you, it will get better and better. It will get easier to snap out of that. And I'm at the point, well, I've been at this point, but I'm at the point where when I think about narcissists because a song or something like that, first I'm like, oh man, this is really good when it was good. And then, but it got really bad, so bad, and I got it so badly. You know what? I actually, from narcissist, I wasn't like ever physically abused. I wouldn't even say right, verbally abused, but the way I did with neglect and, pretty, yeah, it was they were supposed to be somewhere to meet me, but show up, or they went instead, right? That is, it affects you. Am I, to be tossed around, treated like I don't matter, and that wakes me up. That wakes me up when I remember times like, why would I yearn for somebody who treated me like that, who treated me and they felt like, they wanted me, then they should be able to have me. They were bored with that, wanted somebody else, they just moved on to somebody else, and back and the back and forth, and don't leave me, and all of that happened. But, just because they begged and pleaded and acted like they would die without you, that's fake. That's not even true, because they were able to cheat on you continually, right? So if they couldn't live without you, why the heck they need to cheat on you continually? So anyway, just these things come automatically to me now. So if there's ever a time I think like, well, maybe I misread this. Maybe we could, somehow still be friends. Maybe, not that I think this, right? But I know a lot of people are maybe still in that stage. Maybe we could, still know each other and still hang out sometimes. Maybe we could be lifelong friends. They're thinking these things without remembering what a horrible character the narcissist is. Why would you want a friend who would lie about you and slander you and tell other people your secrets? Why would you want that in your life, right? Why would you want a romantic partner in your life who cheated on you continually? Why would you want, anybody in your life who degrades you and mocks you behind your back, right? So you got to remember these things about the narcissist when you start doubting, um, shutting them out of your life. When you start doubting the gray rock that you should be towards them. So, yeah, the new supply though is so caught up with the narcissist. Oh, the audio is cutting in and out. I wonder why that is. I hope you guys, are the rest of you having audio issues? I hope not. Okay, I'm not sure. Sorry about that. Oh, I also need to move this because it's getting too, okay. So, sorry about that. Thank you, Mario, for letting me know, though. I'm not quite sure. Mine, too. Oh, why is the audio cutting in and out? You guys, there is something going on where, let me see if I can do this. Maybe I'll turn this on. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to see if there's something else I can do to fix this. Let me take it off of that. Maybe that will help. All right. Well, we are almost at the end of our hour, though, and I want you guys to jump in and let me know. I'm just reading a comment here. What you think about this topic today and anything else. My narc turned me into a professional troll. To narcs in my town. Oh, good. Positive trolling with no cussing. Oh, I like that. Um, yeah, just looking through here. You guys, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate you being here. Hopefully, I know I'm being shadow banned, so please encourage other people to check in, log in, watch as well. I've gone to through other accounts and like my husband's account, and I cannot find myself. It's just ridiculous. So I'm like, what the heck? And notifications from this channel aren't coming through, or comments from this channel are not being seen, like flat out not being seen in on other places. I'll talk about economics, and finances because I've been observing these things, the economy, the economic destruction that's going on right now, trade, all of that. And when I make comments about that, which I am familiar with, the structure of our financial economy in the United States, and also other countries. I'm familiar with the lesser developed countries and how they're set up. When I describe what's going on really and what the financial institutions are doing and how they're set up and who owns them, those comments get shadow banned. Not only, no, completely, because you're not able to even see them. They're there. I can see that they're there because I'm the account that created it. And when I pull up that video and I look for my comment, it's like the first comment that will show up on my from my account. But if I go to my husband's account, I'll go to that channel, I'll go to that video, I'll pull up the comments, I'll even pull up like newest comments first to see if my comment's there, and it's not. And not only that, the comment count is down by 1 if I'm going through my husband's account. Like I won't even see that Escape from Crazytown made a comment at all, and it was not counted in the comment count. But when I go through my account and so I go back and forth just to see, like, well, maybe it's a period of time. Maybe it's, it takes a few minutes to show up. But that's not true because you see other people's comments show up within seconds, right? There are times you'll comment and then within seconds someone comments right back to you and you have this discourse. My comments get banned. And you guys, this is happening out there. They're affecting my channel. Anyway, I don't even understand how, the best way to explain it to you. I'm not going to be an alarmist about it because what's the point, right? But I do want you guys to understand it's happening out there for even things that have nothing to do with politics, right? Or at least you think it has nothing to do with politics. When you want people to protect themselves financially of what's coming down the pike, you guys, it is not looking good. And I've talked to people about this where the economy, if you are shutting down supply chain, if you're not allowing ships to unload, if you're restricting drivers, truck drivers, to the point where they are quitting, right? I'm not even going to talk about what the restriction is. You all know what it is. When you're requiring pilots and other airline staff to get medical treatment, if you will, right? And they've refused because it's experimental. By the way, it's still experimental. I read another article where they're trying to say, oh, no, this one's approved. Well, that brand is approved. The stuff you're getting is not approved, right? The company that makes that particular one still makes the one that is not approved. So, and you're getting the one that's not approved. Otherwise, all of these things would be illegal because it's only supposed to be used if there are no other approved treatments out there. So anyway, you guys, this is sick. It is sick, and it is affecting our economy. When they are shutting these types of things down to the point where people are leaving the industry, they're no longer people able to do this work. They're no longer able to get stuff to us. Not only that, they're restricting the manufacturing to the point where we have, I mean, maybe there is something out there, but, you know, I'm racking my brain and I cannot think of one thing, one industry in this country that is supported. And I thought about it and I thought, well, maybe solar supported in this country, but not really, because where are we getting the parts to put the solar panels together? They're not made here. And if they're not made, you know, why? You know, if we're such a big proponent of environmental whatever, right? We're at the forefront of the environmental fight. Well, then why are we not at the forefront of producing, manufacturing the things that they say are green, right? Why are we not at the forefront of that? We're using it. We get it from other countries. We get the parts from other countries that are manufactured in other countries. Why are we not manufacturing it here? Okay, yeah. No. You know the thumbs down got taken off, right? Yeah, that was taken off several months ago when a particular person at 1600, I'll just say that, every time he came on with anything, he had tens of thousands, if not 100,000 thumbs down, and maybe a couple of thousand thumbs up. So we saw what the popularity of this person is. So they decided that thumbs down is too harsh, right, for everybody else. You know, they didn't mention him. That's not the reason, of course. So, and even the videos that were produced by that particular group that supports him, when they would put out videos that were total lies, by the way, they'd get tens, hundreds of thumbs down, thousands of thumbs down, I'm sorry, tens and thousands of how do I say that? 100,000s of thumbs down. And so they were saying that thumbs down is actually so mean, it's kind of bullying. So not because of the people who were getting the most thumbs down, but because of you and I. When we get thumbs down, it's so harmful to us. So they decided to just do away with the thumbs down. With the thumbs down, you know, people would actually make whole news stories about that, like, oh, which video got the most thumbs down this week or today, and it would always come from that person or groups of people that support that person. So you're like, wow, they get a lot of thumbs down, because then the rest of us would know what's really popular and what's not. And so the only thing we're seeing now are thumbs up. Anyway, just wanted to show you that, tell you about that. That's why you don't see a thumbs down anymore. Yep. Well, you guys, that is my show for today. I just wanted to share with you, whether you're on one side or the other politically, it doesn't matter to me. I'm at the point where, you're going to believe what you're going to believe, which is fine. But you have to understand that not everybody agrees with you, okay? And you have to understand it's okay that not everybody agrees. It's okay. We all arrive to the truth at a different time, and it's okay. Hopefully, you will do more investigating. Don't stick with the same news sites. Let me think. There is. Oh, I just wanted to share with you. I just found out yesterday. I've known that a particular pharmaceutical company essentially owns Reuters. But I didn't know that they also, not this one particular company, but the same group of people also own AP, Associated Press. And who are the stories, where do we get these stories from mostly? Reuters and Associated Press. They are recited over and over again from trusted, right, other channels. So recognize that even though you trust a channel, trust a magazine, trust a newspaper, if all of their stories are coming from Reuters and AP, or most of their stories, then, kind of back off a little bit. Recognize that they're all being told the same thing and sharing the same information over and over again. So that's why you kind of get stuck in a bubble, and you can't understand why other people are seeing something different than what you're seeing. A channel that's come out recently, which I just turned to yesterday, I've only seen like 2 or 3 what do you want, hosts, I guess, of it. It's almost like the equivalent of what CNN used to be. But as we know, that's also now owned by the same group of people that own just about almost every media out there. So you'll hear this a lot. It's being called corporate media for a reason, because corporations own the same corporations, by the way, or the same people who own the corporations, the different corporations, own the same media. So just wanted to share that with you guys. But I ran into this other site yesterday, which is awesome. It's called Brighteon.tv. Brighteon, BRIGHTEON.TV. And I think they run from like 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., something like that. But this is back to journalism, you guys. Now, of course, it's slanted, and some of the hosts are very blatant about how they, see a certain person from 1600. And it might be shocking to those of you who are not used to that. So, but it's really good to see a different perspective. It's really good to see where are they getting their news? What is the information they have? And anyway, just wanted to share that with you guys. Hope that you check it out. Hope that you go ahead and give me a thumbs up and comment, share my video, subscribe, watch a commercial once in a while. That really helps me. If you can't watch a whole commercial, let it run for 30 seconds, right? And then skip, move on. So I really appreciate that, because I know they're shadow banning my videos, they're shadow banning my channel, they're shadow banning my comments. It's just a real pain in the butt. Nothing I can do about that, because you're fighting corporate America, right? The little guys are fighting corporate America. And when the little guys get big enough that they have a ton of followers, they get shut down. They just simply get censored. They're not just even shadow banned anymore. I know several channels that are losing subscribers by the tens of thousands. Yes. And either maybe the subscribers are passing away. Things are happening out there, you guys, that you're not being told. So I really would highly suggest, if you're looking around and you're like, something's going on, but I don't know what it is, go to Brighteon.tv and you'll find out. All right, you guys, blessings to you. I wish you so much joy and happiness and healing. You guys are going to make this. It doesn't matter what the new supply is doing. Stop looking over there. Don't pay attention to them anymore because it doesn't matter. You know they're miserable. You know they're headed for a train wreck. And what's the point, right? What is the point of looking over there? Move on with your life. Build something beautiful and go and spread passion, joy, and goodness wherever you go. You guys, blessings to you. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to be putting up the, the Happy Crappy recap, which will be like 10 to 15 minutes. So if you guys want to watch that, a lot of times I think of other things to mention and I put that in the recap. Well, you guys, oh, okay. I will take a look at that. Another thing I watch is Salty Cracker. Love that guy. All right, you guys, blessings to you, and I will see you next week.